Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk, the triple threat match that we all thought we didn't want. But Andy, I have to say, after what happened this Friday on SmackDown, the promo between these guys and the brawl that ensued, I'm here for it, man. And they still got 4 weeks to cook even more. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think my thing has always been, I know the match itself is going to be amazing. Like it's gonna be hard for anything else on the card to beat that match. I think. Like I think
Agreed.
it's gonna be that caliber of a match. Um, but you get your heart set on some other matches that potentially could happen. I mean, we were teased with the idea of a possible Rock Roman situation this year finally, and then Seth versus CM Punk inside Hell in the Cell, which we have to have that at some point. Like that has to be a match that happens at some point. Um, but then you give these guys a live mic and you let them go out there and say what they want to say, and you just buy back in again. Like they make it so easy to buy in. Even what Punk said tonight, like him calling back and saying he still works with children. A lot of people may not get that pop, but I sure pop for it. Like I lost it when he said that. And it's just the things that these guys can do together, because there is real life animosity between them. They're able to use that and go
Yep.
forward. I'm excited for it. I mean, we have our 2 main events now. I don't see anything else main eventing night 1 except for this triple threat.
Yep. It's ironic that we're getting a triple threat match at WrestleMania that doesn't have a title. That does, especially a main event that doesn't have big stakes. Like the last main event that didn't have a title of a WrestleMania was Stone Cold and Kevin Owens, but it was the return of Steve Austin,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think there may be stakes added to this one.
Okay.
I think
That
it's one of
favor
those
is
that
still out there.
maybe whoever wins this match automatically gets a world title shot at some, like right after.
Mm, yeah.
For either the WWE Undisputed title or for the World Heavyweight Championship. I think they have to add some kind of stakes to this.
Yep.
Other than the stakes being just pure hatred for each other, which is fine by me. I think we're gonna get some crazy stuff. But I think this match is going to be one that we talk about for a while.
Yep.
This triple threat, at least.
Bryce, I see your question. I'm going to get to that at the end of this segment. I promise. Just hold tight. Because I agree. We're going to make that. We're going to do that, but give me just a second. Andy, you hit it though. This story has so much meat on it. There's so much backstory between all of these guys. At some point, last year's WrestleMania main event has got to come into play with, I mean, Seth Rollins, he touched it on SmackDown when he said, Roman, we have a lot of history. Have a lot of history. You ended his 1,300-day streak of being world champion by yourself. His hatred for you cost him that championship. That has to come back up. And then this Rollins Punk little brother kind of stuff. And then the favor. And then Punk saying, well, you had to have my help at War Games and blah, 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 all these kind of things. So and then don't even get me started on the role that Paul Heyman's going to play in this, because there's so much there. I'm going to plant this one little nugget, Andy. I don't want to dive too much into the Paul Heyman speculation because, like I said about Cody and Cena, still got 4 weeks to talk about this. This story is we're going to peel back the onion. But Andy, I don't know if you noticed this or not. Before the commercial break, Paul Heyman gets out of the van and he says to whoever's in the van, stay put. Or however he says it. We never saw who was in the van, Andy. We assume it was Roman Reigns, but we didn't see it. That is huge to me.
Yeah, it is. Like I kind of brought it up, I think last week or a couple weeks ago. Like, it's not out of the possibility or the realm of possibility that Heyman doesn't walk away with any of them. Like, I think he could leave with Seth. I think there's a world where Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins align themselves together.
Yep.
And go forward. So I agree. I think Paul Heyman is going to be the most intriguing part of this entire feud.
Yep.
and seeing where we end up at WrestleMania, I think that could absolutely play a massive role in it. So I've enjoyed every aspect of this feud so far. Even tonight, like Punk's promo today,
Yep.
where he even said like, "You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me.
Yep.
I brought in the Shield. Like I brought you two to the dance.
Yep.
So all your success is because of me. So like nothing you have is because of you. It's all because of me. So it's so interesting to see all this."
Bryce says Punk said he hand delivered him, which was fantastic. Now, listen, I think that Punk saying that, and then the favor that Punk keeps dangling that we all know is there. Andy, what if let's just fantasy book for a second. Let's run with the Seth Rollins Paul Heyman thing. What if Paul Heyman takes that favor that he's supposed to be, that CM Punk is owed, and it is a championship match, but he gives that favor to Seth Rollins, and he's the one that drives the wedge between Punk and Rollins even more, because we've said we need a third match in this Punk Rollins series. What if somehow that's the way we get it because of Paul Heyman?
Yeah, I mean that's a very interesting way to go about it. I think that adds a lot of intrigue and even more stakes to a feud that is already a blood feud. Like they absolutely hate each other. So yeah, I think that's a very interesting way to go. Just I don't know what Heyman's involvement is actually going to be. Like
I know,
I'm not shocked if he doesn't leave with Roman. I'm not shocked if he doesn't leave with Punk or Seth. And I'm not even shocked if like nothing at the end of this happens. Like
right?
he's just Paul Heyman. He's just working every angle, working every deal that he can work, and that's what he's doing.
And I think the reason is because there's so much meat to this story. Like we were saying, this is probably not the end of it, because we're going to lead to a Punk Rollins match. We're going to lead to a Punk Roman match. We're going to lead to a Roman Seth match at some point. And Paul is still intertwined no matter who he leaves with at the end of this. So, like you said, maybe we don't get anything. But my question to you is this, and then Bryce, I'm going to get your question, I promise. My question to you, Andy, is this. We're talking about how hot this feud got after Friday Night SmackDown. We knew this was a possibility after what happened at the Royal Rumble, and we were just buying our time. And then we got it at Madison Square Garden. And then, of course, this past Friday, they're going to be back at it this coming Friday, as they're all under one roof again at Friday Night SmackDown. So my question to you is this. You started this segment off by saying that the match is going to be good, but there are so many matches out of it that you think you would rather see, which I can buy. But there's so much going on in this story. As I'm thinking through this week and listening to different people talk about it, the crossover of this feud between these three guys, I think requires a triple threat match. Like the stories on their own are really good, but because of the crossover, especially with Punk bringing in the Shield, Andy, I think it requires a triple threat match. Like, do you see it that way? Or are you starting to see it that way? Or what are your thoughts there on just, I know that you said that we don't have to have a triple threat, but I think we do.
Yeah, I mean the triple threat makes sense.
Yes.
It makes all the sense in the world. It's not like it's an out there thing to have happen. Um, but I think you could get to this triple threat the same way you could get to a triple threat between Cody, Cena, and Roman at WrestleMania too. Like I think that those three guys are kind of linked together all because of The Rock and the world title,
Mm-hmm.
and everything that they're pushing forward too. So I think this triple threat needed to happen at some point. I agree. I think we could have built to it maybe to like SummerSlam or a little further down the line. But and it's weird to say this, if you don't have this triple threat, what does Roman do?
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
this is the only spot I see Roman in at WrestleMania, which is wild to say that after he literally only lost his title at WrestleMania last year. So it's crazy to look at that and see like, oh, if Roman's not in this triple threat, I don't think he's necessarily on the card anywhere.
Yeah.
And so now looking at it, like, yeah, this triple threat has to happen, and it makes sense why it has to happen.
Yeah. I think Jared said that 2 weeks ago on the show, or I know we all sort of chipped in and had that discussion. It's like, where else does Roman fit? on the
Yep.
card, because you don't want to rush a Jacob Fatu match. The solo match is done. Drew McIntyre seems like he's tied up with Damian Priest. That would have been a logical choice, but it seems like the Bloodline Hunter is just far and away. We've gotten rid of that. Maybe we might bring it back. We'll see. All right, Bryce, here's your question. If you have to choose right now, who wins? Oh my goodness. Sam Roberts was talking about this on his podcast, and he said he could see a scenario where all three of them win. You and I have speculated Seth needs this win so stinking bad. It's Punk's first WrestleMania. You don't think, especially first WrestleMania main event, if we're putting it in that slot, you don't think he needs that win to push him to the world title picture? And Roman Reigns, I mean, it's his first WrestleMania not being champion in 5 years. You don't think he needs a win? He's still the big player here. I'm throwing to you first because I haven't decided yet. You have to pick who wins this match.
If I have to pick right now, based off of everything I've seen and every momentum moving forward, Rollins has one up on. Well, no, technically Punk does too, because he eliminated both of them from the Rumble. So they're all like on equal playing ground right now.
Yes.
If we're talking about it being the main event of night one and this triple threat, this is not just Punk's first WrestleMania main event. This is his first WrestleMania since WrestleMania 29.
Yes.
So, because he was injured last year, this is his first WrestleMania back. I think Punk has to get the win. I think Punk wins. I think he pins probably Seth Rollins. And then that could build more animosity down the line and everything else. But if I had to pick right now, I'm probably going to lean CM Punk.
I reserve the right, and I'm going to allow you to do the same, to change our picks over the next 4 weeks, and especially on our prediction show that is coming WrestleMania week. We reserve the right to change this pick, but as Bryce says, we have to pick right now. Man, I really like the pot stirrer here. I really like Seth Rollins, and I'll tell you why. It's coming down to a point where Seth Rollins is a guy that's just putting people over, and everybody's getting a win over Seth Rollins. So if you want to make the statement of Seth Rollins is still the top guy on Raw, whether he actually is or not, doesn't matter. If he is still a main event player, first world heavyweight champion in this new iteration, still could go after the title and win it at any point in time. Want to get him over as a heel. Maybe Heyman goes with him. You talk about a dude that'll run his mouth because he beat both of these guys and just get under their skin. I really like Seth Rollins standing tall at the end. I mean, who was the MVP of WrestleMania last year? Seth Rollins. So better yet, have him standing tall at the end of the night one main event. I like Seth Rollins here, but again, I reserve the right to change my pick.
Well, I'll say this. Right now, I think I'm closer to a Punk win or a Rollins win than I am a Roman win. Like, I think Roman's my last pick right now to win this match. And part of that is because I think whoever wins, like, I think Punk is either pinning Seth or Seth is pinning Punk.
Sure.
Whoever wins at WrestleMania is losing the feud. Like, I think that is a great way of, they got their big moment, they got their WrestleMania main event win, but they're going to lose the feud in the end. And so I think that could be a factor into all this. But again, my mind will probably change after the contract signing on Friday. Like, I have no idea what to expect.
Well, Andy, you know that, oh, by the way, Bryce chimes in, Roman's his pick right now. I mean, it's hard to go against any of these guys.